Imagine this. A young immigrant shows up in a new country with absolutely nothing. No money, no friends, doesn't even speak the language. Now, what if I told you that same person would go on to take on an entire industry? Not with some revolutionary invention, but with a simple idea that everyone else was literally throwing in the trash.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. This is the incredible story of Sam Zemurray, a man who built a massive empire from fruit that the world's biggest company considered total waste. His story? It's really a masterclass in seeing a huge opportunity where everyone else just saw garbage.
So to really get who this guy was, you have to go right back to the beginning. His journey doesn't start in some fancy boardroom. No, it starts in a tiny village, and it's fueled by loss and just this desperate hope for something better. Sam's childhood was just plain hard. After his father died, just surviving was a daily struggle. So at just 14 years old, he makes this heartbreaking choice. He takes what little money the family has and buys a one-way ticket to America, leaving everything and everyone he knew behind. He lands completely alone, just a teenager in a brand new world with nothing but the address of an uncle he barely knew.
Okay, and this is where Sam's story really shifts from just survival to some serious ambition. He didn't just find a job, he found his calling in, of all places, the total chaos of the American ports.
While he was doing all these odd jobs, sweeping floors, making deliveries, Sam was like a sponge. He just watched everything. He listened to conversations, he talked to customers, he studied suppliers. He became obsessed with figuring out how businesses actually worked, just soaking up every lesson he possibly could.
And this is the exact moment when all that observation paid off, big time. Down at the docks in Alabama, he's watching the super powerful United Fruit Company unload their ships. And he notices they have this three-part system. Green bananas were like gold, yellow ones were silver, but the spotted ones, they were considered trash. Now, they were perfectly good to eat, but they'd spoil way too fast to ship far. So about 15% of every single shipment was just thrown away.
And that's when the light bulb went off. He took his entire life savings, $50, which, by the way, is over $1,500 today, and he bet it all. He walks right up to the United Fruit guys and offers to buy the trash bananas they were about to toss. For them, hey, it was free money. But for Sam, it was the single biggest risk of his life.
But buying the bananas, that turned out to be the easy part. Now he had to sell them. And with a product that was getting riper by the minute, this became a literal race against the clock.
So he loads up his bananas on a freight train. But the trip was a total nightmare. The train was painfully slow, stopping for hours at a time for who knows what reason. And with every single delay, Sam is just watching his entire investment, his life savings, slowly rotting away. He realizes pretty fast there's no way he's going to make it to his destination with anything left to sell.
So, think about it. Put yourself in his shoes. He's a teenager. He's all alone on this train. His product is literally decaying, and his whole dream is dying right along with it. He's staring at total failure. What possible move could he make?
He didn't wait for the market. He brought the market to him. At one of the stops, he jumps off the train, runs to a telegraph office, and starts sending messages to every single town down the line. And the message was simple. A cheap shipment of bananas is on its way, and there's a commission in it for anyone who helps sell them. He literally created demand out of thin air.
And you know what? It worked like a charm. At every single stop, there were crowds of local merchants waiting on the platform ready to buy. By the time that train finally reached its last stop, he had sold every last banana. He started with $50 and doubled his money on one trip. He didn't just prove his idea could work. He had found a huge gap in the market nobody else was even looking at.
So Sam does this again and again and again, getting faster and more efficient every time. But of course, his success didn't go unnoticed, and pretty soon he found himself on a collision course with the very company whose trash had made him rich, the United Fruit Company.
These two had completely different ways of doing business. United Fruit was this massive giant focused on high-margin premium green bananas, and they controlled the market through pure size. Sam was the total opposite. He was fast, he was agile, a real hustler working on tiny margins but with massive volume. And he was starting to make a real dent.
United Fruit started to feel the heat, and they decided it was time to crush him. They started intentionally delaying his shipments. They'd suddenly refuse to sell him their ripe bananas. They even started dumping their own ripe bananas on the market at crazy low prices, anything to drive him out of business.
But Sam was not the type of guy to just roll over and quit. He realized that to really compete, he couldn't just be a seller anymore. Nope, he had to control the entire supply chain, and that meant it was time for his boldest move yet.
He decided to become a producer himself. He got a partner, an investor, bought a whole fleet of ships, and then purchased thousands of acres of land in Central America to grow his own bananas. He was no longer just the banana man. He was building a full-blown banana empire.
And here's the thing that really set him apart. He didn't do it from some comfy office back in the States. Sam actually moved to the jungle. He walked the land, he checked the soil, he studied the rivers, he worked side by side with his laborers in that brutal heat, clearing jungle and planting seeds. And that hands-on approach, it earned him their deep loyalty and gave him this incredible, ground-up understanding of the business.
So now, he's going head-to-head with United Fruit, matching them on price and quality. But Sam, being Sam, wanted more. He wanted total control, and that led to a decision that would put every single thing he had built on the line.
See, Sam wanted to expand, and expand aggressively, buying up more land before United Fruit could grab it. But his partner was getting nervous, worried about all the debt they were taking on. The two of them clashed, and Sam made this incredible offer. I'll buy out your shares and I'll take full control of the entire company. The only problem was he didn't have the cash. The banks all turned him down. They said the business was way too risky. So he turned to underworld lenders, loan sharks, and accepted loans with interest rates as high as 50%. It was an absolutely insane gamble, but it just shows you how much he believed in himself.
And this is where we're going to leave him for now. He's the new majority owner, but he is massively in debt to some very dangerous people. He has bet everything he has, and frankly, a lot that he doesn't have, on his own ambition. The outcome from here was either going to be a legendary empire or total, complete ruin.
Because what came next wasn't just about business anymore. Oh no. Sam Zemurray's ambition was about to spill over into the world of politics, of coups, and of dictators. The kid who started out selling rotten bananas was on the verge of becoming a kingmaker, and his actions would end up shaping the fate of entire nations.